How critical are your parents? Are they the most critical, or are they just the most?
They can't tell us nothing now, can they? We made it. Hey, do you know what? I think your game was poor today. Hey, Dad, shut up.
This is the official Leeds United podcast.
Pete Stone's got in touch to say he'd love to get Pat's view on going into management or coaching after working with Marcelo Bielsa.
Would I do it? I think that he's brought on kind of that side of my game in terms of tactically becoming a lot more aware. But I think after football, you give so much time, like going into hotels and stuff. I don't know. I'm undecided whether I'd want to be a manager. I think I'd do something. I'd quite like to do what Jermaine does, something to do with punditry. But I don't know about management yet.
Taking
Jermaine
my
Beckford,
job.
Patrick Bamford's
Listen, we're mates, so you're trying to take my job. It's like what I'm trying to do with Matty.
Yeah,
I keep trying to get an audition, and he's just pieing me.
So you can be.
I was just giving you some warning.
You be an actor. Patrick can be a pundit, and I'll be a really bad footballer. I guess we could just do a big loop like that.
Pat is not a really bad footballer. What are you talking about?
No, he's great.
I'm
terrible.
You just got us all three of us to swap roles. Scandalous.
Oh well, if I'm playing Pat. Well, I tell you what. On that note, Mr. Statman's here. Look at this. You like this, Pat? You might have seen this already. Non-penalty expected goals. Look who's top of that.
Oh, yeah, I did see that this morning, actually.
Hey? Look who's top of that list.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That's a decent list as well. Read it out.
I don't really know what XG is.
Yeah.
But.
Read the list.
Okay, so we've got a list of the top 6 in Europe. Lewandowski, Erling Haaland, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Romelu Lukaku, and Patrick.
I'm sorry,
Bamford.
who was that?
Romelu Lukaku and Patrick Bamford. There you go.
Yes, that's a wicked list to top, mate.
Number one.
Unbelievable.
Mate, your check's in the post, mate. Your check's in the post.
He sent me that picture before we came on.
Yeah, make sure you mention this, Len.
Right then, Patrick. Jay, otherwise known as Grumpy Dad 182, asks, is Alioski actually from this planet?
The simple answer's no, but it's hard. I don't think we've got enough time to actually talk about him because he's actually mental.
Do.
Honestly, he's nuts.
You know the Alioski that we see that is nuts. Is he like that, like in the changing room at training and stuff like that?
Yeah, all the time. It's like he's, like a kid who's had sugar and all of a sudden they're having a mad half hour. He's like that, but all the time. And when we got promoted and went on holiday to Ibiza all together, that was the first time we kind of saw him together with his missus and thought, oh, maybe he'll be a little bit more calm. Exactly the same, like an absolute nutcase. But he's the same with everyone's kids as well. So say any of the lads bring in their kids to training, like they're just in whilst they're waiting around or whatever. Alioski makes such a fuss. He'll grab the kids and pretend to bite them and everything. He's actually crazy. He's so weird, but the kids love it.
Bunk with him when you go away.
Who what?
Does someone have to bunk with him when you go away? That's a stay in a room.
You
get your own room. Oh, yeah, you get your own room, thankfully.
Oh, thank God for that. That'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Honestly,
he sounds like the worst roommate ever.
Yeah, he's one of them guys that when he's on your team, you're so happy he's on your team, even though sometimes you look at him and think, what on earth are you doing? But if he was on the opposition team, you'd hate it. He just winds people up. He's always talking, it's just annoying. If you're not his teammate, he'd do your head in. What's
the maddest thing you've seen him do?
The maddest thing? I don't know. He's got you'll have seen it on Twitter. I'm sure there was a meme where he's just sat in the pool making a high-pitched noise and it got edited onto some song. He does that all the time. And then he's got a ritual every game, whether it's home or away, when he's in the dugout. He gets the dugout and he shakes it so it looks like it's going to break. And every time the security at an away game shouts at him and says, stop doing that. And then G proper goes back at him aggressively as well. Honestly, it's hard to actually describe what he's actually like. But
there's just no filter with him.
Zero filter.
I get the feeling you love him for it though, don't you?
Yeah, he's brilliant. That's what I mean. In your team, he's fantastic. He brings his great energy. He kind of ups the atmosphere, and he is good for the team. It's just you sometimes scratch your head wondering what was going through his head.
When is this going to end?
Yeah. Right then, next question is from, it's from Jay as well. This says, who would you rather have as a strike partner, Bex or Becchio? I mean, this is from Jay. Are you sure this isn't you, Jermaine?
Yeah,
I'm not grumpy.
this guy. I'd have to say Jermaine. I actually haven't.
You don't have to say that.
I can't remember.
No, you don't have to say Jermaine just because he's sat there.
No, but I can't actually remember Becchio that much.
You do.
But no, seriously, I can't remember Becchio that much. I remember Jermaine mainly from his time. I think I watched you a couple of times at Leeds when you played against Forest. Would it have been when Forest were in League One?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. So I remember watching
we taught him a
there,
lesson, just saying.
Obviously, when he was at Everton as well, I remember him. So I think a little bit of pace would complement me nicely.
Absolutely. I agree. I completely concur. 100%.
I thought you'd like
Great
that.
choice. You can have the number 9. I'll have 8+1. There you are.
All Leeds, aren't we? The official Leeds United podcast.
We're going to move on now, Patrick, to your parents and influential sort of figures in your life. Because in previous episodes, you've touched on the role that your parents played in your life. How big a part of you getting to this point have they been?
They're probably, I'd say, the main reason, really. I mean, ever since I was younger, I always said, whenever anyone asked me, I wanted to be a professional footballer. But Mum and Dad said, first things first, you finish your education. So I had to go all the way to A-levels, and they'd support me with football as long as I did that. And so basically they stuck to their end of the deal. I stuck to mine and kind of finished A-levels. And yeah, so they were brilliant, to be honest. It's weird, you never really actually say thank you enough to your parents, but obviously owe them a lot.
Oh, that's really nice.
That's lovely.
I hope they listen to this.
I hope they listen to this. Yeah.
I mean, mine don't, so I don't know why.
Just send it to them.
Listening on together.
Once you became professional, both of you, how critical are your parents? Are they the most critical, or are they just the most?
They can't tell us nothing now, can they? We made it. Hey, do you know what? I think your game was poor today. Hey, Dad, shut up. No, I'm only messing. No, do you know what? I don't know what it's like for Pat. Go on, Pat. Let us know. Actually, I'll go after you.
He's probably my toughest critic, Dad. Mum's obviously always supporting. She understands football, but she's not as kind of into it as Dad. But he'll let me know. When you've played a good game and when you've played a bad game. He makes sure he lets me know where I could have done better and where I couldn't have. And obviously I already know that. So sometimes it's a little bit rubbing salt in the wound, but it's good. It gives you a reality check. And as Jermaine said, they're there to put their arms around you when you need it. But just as importantly, they're also there to kind of give you a cheer up if you need it as well.
All Leeds, aren't we? The official Leeds United podcast.
So I don't read reviews. I try not to read anything in there, because even if you get 10 good ones, the one bad one's going to be the one that messes you up, right?
Yeah, that sticks out.
So I try not to read it. But they've only done this a while ago. I don't know if they do it now, but they would be they'd read it. And then they bring it to my attention. Did you read that review? That wasn't. They said this about you. I'm like, why are you telling me this? I don't need to hear this.
You know, I don't need this in my life.
It's I thought you might have read it. No, I haven't read it. But thank you anyway. That's great. Cheers, guys.
Do you know? It's funny you say that, Matty, because you remember, was it a couple episodes ago you were asking me about reading stuff on Twitter? And I was saying that I ignore that stuff. Literally a week ago, I remember my dad ringing me and he was saying, you're getting a bit of a slating on Twitter. I was like, right. And he's like, have you seen this? And I was like, Dad, I've stopped reading Twitter for a reason. And he continued to try and keep telling me. I was like, Dad, just shut up, just leave it. I don't want to hear it.
I've been there.
I don't need it in my life, please.
Been there.
Listening on together.
Do you have a bit of say sometimes when you can be like, look, Gaffer, I'm ruined. I need a week off, or do they come to you with your GPS stuff and say you need time off?
He's shaking his head.
You wouldn't dare, would you?
If I went to Marcelo and said, Gaffer, I could really do with a break. Like, say it wasn't a pandemic and we're like, look, I could do with a break to Dubai for a week because my legs are shattered. Honestly, I think he might knock me down there and then. Because it's all, he thinks that we're so physically in tune, and the way that he has his training, that we should be able to, we'll adapt to it and we should be able to do it. And really, there's no reason why we shouldn't. Sometimes, like, mentally you kind of feel a little bit fatigued and stuff, and that kind of gets to you. But I think we can all kind of soldier on through it without demanding for a break. I was trying to think, when I was saying that, I was trying to think of the guy, you know, in that Michael Jordan documentary, who's the loose cannon who just disappears to Vegas for a bit.
Dennis Rodman.
Have you seen Dennis Rodman? They're doing one of them, I was thinking. Imagine doing that under Marcelo.
This is the official Leeds United podcast.